and your sister and your job and your broke ass car and the shit you call art. Fuck you and your friends that I'll never see again. Everybody but your dog, you can all fuck off. I swear I meant to mean the best when it ended.
And we're live.
Good way to set the tone for the podcast.
Good way to start it off today. So, we're back from the Arnold. We're doing a quick little podcast to kind of recap how everybody did, what their what thoughts are going forward, everything like that. Bacon, you weren't there, but you watched. So, if you want to start off with questions and kind of ask where people landed, how they did, what the back room was like, we'll just go from there.
Yeah, so, I mean, they ended up having to move it from the actual Arnold Festival itself down and around the corner, like to the convention center or something. 1,800 lifters, I think is what I saw.
So, yeah, so supposedly it was the biggest meet ever, like USAW, Nashville, like any just country-wise. I think it was like the Guinness World Record meet. So it was like 1,800 lifters. So usually it's at the Arnold, which is the big convention center downtown Columbus, which like when you look at pictures of it, you would think Columbus, like a downtown convention center, is like, it's not like, you wouldn't think Columbus is like in the middle of a city. Like, you think it's kind of rural, but it's literally in the fucking middle of the city. So it's like slap dab, like skyscrapers, big buildings, all this stuff, right? But there was no way that they could have had the meet at the Arnold. There were 6 platforms going, there were so many people, and I'm guessing in the past, before weightlifting got super big, they would do it where the powerlifting was. Where the powerlifting was, it was like kind of like, not like I'm trying to think how to explain it. You know, like when you go to a convention center, they'll have like the doors that can slide open the walls.
Yeah.
So like I feel like that's where they used to be, right there. And then as it got bigger, I feel like it was in the actual expo center type area where like the strongman is, where they did the Moz wrestling, CrossFit. But I mean, if you have 6 platforms, almost 2,000 people competing, there's no way you can do that, right?
And there were basically somebody going on all 6 platforms.
At once, yeah. There was nonstop from 8 a.m. till we finished at 10 p.m.
And in separate rooms, or was it all like one big room?
One big. So basically, it was probably the fairground area was probably, I mean, longer than this building here, like set up so you had room for everything.
Yeah.
But I mean, like it worked. It was fine. Like it was fine. But yeah, it was like you had to take a shuttle to get to the actual Arnold, which kind of sucked. But
Yeah. That's kind of the point of going up to that one, is so that you can be a part of the whole thing. You can walk around Vendor Village and, you know, experience the Arnold and be a part of it versus something else in Columbus.
No, and
at
that was the
same
only thing
time.
that was kind of done. I mean, in reality, it wasn't bad because
Yeah.
I've never been to the Arnold. So, like, to me, it wasn't that big of a deal. Get on a bus, go 2 miles down the road, take a 10-minute drive. Not bad. But, like, people have done in the past, I'm sure they were disappointed in it. But it was all in all, it was a good experience.
And I know, I mean, you haven't done a ton of competitions, but you've done more than any of us. You know, you felt good about how it was set up, the warm-up area. Did they have a training hall, anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, like, I think the warm-up area and the actual platforms were good. One thing I think they did good is the platforms they actually use for competition. Usually use a stage so it's higher, which I'm sure since they had the 6th platform, that's why they didn't have the projectors, they didn't have the stage and all that for all the platforms. But they had all, from what I saw, they were all just giant rogue platforms that had just plywood, not 4x4s. Because the 4x4s, by the time you get to Sunday, they're all beat to shit. Like, because you think about it, you have to screw them together.
I never
so
thought
they start
about that.
moving around. So like it's pretty much like a giant version of the platform we have, which is solid and great. Back with the warm up area was great. Enough platforms for everybody. I think they might have had 8 to 10 for each platform in the back. Now the training hall, I swear, as the meets get bigger and bigger for USAW, the training hall gets smaller and smaller.
Which totally makes sense, right?
Like, I feel like when I did the first American Open in Milwaukee, the training hall was huge. And then, like, it slowly got smaller and smaller. Like, there was probably, I would like to say 12 platforms, which isn't bad, but if you have 1,800 people who have to, train the day before, and their coaches are going to train. People are going to train. They say you can't do that, but everybody's training there.
Yeah.
But, like, and it's in Ohio. Rogue's right down the street. Why would you not have all the platforms?
Yeah, I mean, like, deck it out.
So that's the only thing that I think they need to do better at.
You think it's like a cost thing? Like, that first year,
No, I don't think so.
No. I mean, like, somebody just being cheap? That's what I meant as in
I
cost.
don't think they really. to be honest, they don't really care about the training area. But it's like, that's the most
Trying to discourage people from actually training
maybe
there.
possibly, but like it's not like they have anybody telling you can't go back there.
Yeah,
but it's like they had the room to make it bigger. They just didn't.
Yeah, when you've seen the Team USA folks, big meet stuff, like, if you follow any of them on social media, they're always training 2 and 3 days before in the training. They're like, we're going to go check out the training hall now.
Yeah, and like I said, usually it's bigger. I just that's the only disappointing thing.
Yeah.
The meet itself was cool. It would have been
Backstage
cool.
felt good to you?
Yeah, all that was good. I mean, like I said, since they had 6 platforms, I mean, usually they have projectors and much larger screens so you can see stuff. So basically, you were looking, if you were in the stands, you were looking on like a 40-inch TV for the numbers, and you're just like, holy shit, like how I can't even see where everybody's placing and stuff. But besides that, but again, I think it's because they had so many people that had to expand to 6 different platforms.
No doubt. I know it was. I mean, it was easy to watch at home. The links all worked.
Yeah.
I was sitting there. I got to watch Ryan's while I was working from the house Thursday. I was working on order confirmations, and so I listened for his name and then stopped. Yeah. And then Friday night with Tristan, got done training, went over to Haley's, and she had set it up on her computer because we couldn't pop it up onto a TV.
Yeah.
And so it was, worked out good.
It was good.
And then the only confusing thing with Tristan's is that one guy that was in the other weight class, so we didn't know how he ended up finishing night of. So that was a little confusing. But, I mean, when I talked to you after you got back, I understood why it worked out that way.
Yeah.
It was just confusing, still getting used to how weightlifting competition works.
Yeah, and like I said, since the meet was so big, it was just you had so many different sessions, especially for like an 89 to 96. And really, I'd probably say 81 through 96 have so many competitors because that's kind of the average body weight of an American, So, shit, I think they had like J sessions in Tristan's class.
Dang.
So, like A through J. That's a lot of fucking kids.
And normally it's just A and B and maybe C.
So, like a Nationals and American Open, you have like A, B, C. That's about it. Maybe an E, but I mean, the totals are so high.
Yeah.
Like, so for instance, you'll have, matter of fact, the reason they have like the C, E, D maybe at Nationals is because they'll have the junior lifters there as well.
Yeah.
So if they was just a straight up senior meet, there'd just be A and B more than likely.
I mean, it's still so cool that it's gotten that big. CrossFit definitely helps save, weightlifting.
Oh, yeah.
And get it popular. And then now, I mean, some of this has got to be of its own accord. The fact that the Arnold's the Arnold, that now people are going. I mean, you know what I mean? CrossFit's been around for 21 years now, so it still can't just be CrossFit bringing all these people in. Especially as many younger people are now just doing weightlifting.
What I think is, like, of course, CrossFit blew it up, and the YouTubes blew it up back in the day. But I think just now younger kids are doing it because it's more mainstream.
Yep.
So that's why it's blowing up. Like, you have kids that are 9, 10, 12, 13. Yeah. They're doing it now as their sport.
Yep.
Where before, like, they're not going to lift weights. When they get in high school, they'll start working out maybe.
Very obscure.
But now it's like this is their sport. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is just bigger because of CrossFit. They have CrossFit gyms, so they may not want to do CrossFit if they want to lift the weights. That's where most of the lifters come from anyways.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't want to do the conditioning. I just want to get strong.
Yeah. Well, in gyms like ours, they see the kids that come in for the 330 or the 445, or even the volleyball girls, they come in later. They see me, you, Tristan, Ryan, Shay when she's here, Cody.
Yeah.
And they're always asking, what are y'all doing?
Yeah, for sure.
And that's the beauty of it too, is it translates. There's not a single sport out there that wouldn't benefit from getting into some snatch and clean and jerk.
Oh yeah, getting stronger, getting more mobile, learning coordination. I mean, everything that goes into a snatch or clean.
Absolutely. So how'd the guys do?
So Ryan ended up winning his whole weight class and age group. He ended up, let's see, let me get his numbers.
And he's what, 13 now,
so
right?
He's 13. So where the way his birthday is, it kind of sucks. So he just turned 13 in December.
Yep.
But they do like the whole year. So he had to compete 14, 15, which is fine. It's not a big deal, but it kind of sucks. Like as he's competing as a junior, he'll really only be in each of those divisions for a year.
Instead of 2, yeah.
Because of how his birthday falls. But so he went 52 on his snatch, which is 114, which ties his PR. And then he went 65.
Yeah, for those of y'all that don't know, everything is always done in kilos for weightlifting, and then as Americans we have to translate it over to pounds.
Yeah, so then he went 65 on on his clean and jerk. I think he's PR 67.
Okay.
I think his PR is 53 on snatch, but he did miss both of his last lifts, which we went.
But they were good misses.
They were good misses.
They were
So
good
we
misses.
Went 57, which is. I should figure out. I should know these numbers in my head right now.
It's all right.
So that's 125, which on the snatch he had overhead,
Yeah.
his elbow a little hyperextended, felt a little wobbly. He said that the body turned. He got scared because he never felt that before, but he had it in the hole.
Yeah.
Where if you would have stood up, it would have been a no lift.
Yep.
But he definitely snatched it. Like
Yeah.
he held it in the hole.
Yep.
He should have stood up with it.
Yeah.
But he got a little scared. But this is the first time that.
It happens.
And then he went 70 on his last clean and jerk, which is 154, which was an all-time PR on his clean. And he missed the jerk. He could have had the jerk. I think he rushed a little bit. But at the same time, after his first jerk, they came back and said his belt was too big. He would have changed his belt.
Oh, wow.
So, not that messed him up because he smoked his second.
Too big, like too wide in the
Too
back?
wide.
Okay.
So when we were in the back warming up, I was just looking. I was like, man, I wonder if they're gonna say something. Just because, like with the 2 Pood belts or the Rogue Velcro belts, they're one size all the way.
Yep.
Well, this one's skinny, then gets bigger, which in reality it's literally like less than a millimeter bigger than the card. But I told his dad, hey, go see if this is too big. Go check this out for me. 'Cause I just don't want to get in trouble. So he checked out with a guy, actually Onyx, one of the Onyx guys. He ended up buying a belt from them just in case his belt was too big. But they both went to a judge, and the judge used the card, so it was fine, right? Totally fine.
Yeah.
So then he comes there, smokes his first clean and jerk. Judge comes back, says, let me measure your belt. Takes out literally like a tape measure that you would measure like your waist with, and it was like a millimeter too big. Like, what the fuck? Like, we literally just, like, we were fine. We didn't say anything.
Yeah.
We literally just measured it, and it was fine. But anyways, so we'll go, I mean, from there. So, yeah, so we measured his belt, and it is what it is. But I don't.
And frustrating that one judge said, no, it's good, and then another
Yeah,
one,
literally.
come
like,
here.
Yeah, like, literally, like, he's 13 years old.
But that's also kind of USAW.
But it's also other people who have been on national teams have used that same brand, that same belt, and it's fine.
Yeah.
But you have like a little kid getting mad at him. Very confused.
Yeah.
Not saying they do it because they don't like me. They probably don't even know who I am. But like, there's been multiple times weird things have happened to me at meets.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it's
I
like,
mean,
what
Cody wasn't there, so if he was there, we could definitely blame it on that. Because they remember him.
100%. So he did good.
Yeah.
He PR'd his total
Good.
in competition, and I'm pretty sure he might be number one in the country now. If he's not number one in the country, he would have been number one in the country if he wouldn't have missed those, or even if he would have just made his clean and jerk.
Yeah. That PR clean and jerk.
Because the one kid that went heavier, he bumped up to 55,
Okay. Yeah, because what's his body weight?
49, so 107 pounds.
Yeah. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, so he did really good. Proud of him. Now it's just time to get really
I mean,
strong.
literally almost hit 1.5 times his body weight clean and jerk. That's awesome.
Yeah, and he's only been doing this for
Not
since
even a year? It's 9
I mean,
months?
we started messing with the bar in July, but he
Yeah.
really didn't start doing the Olympic stuff till end of July, like going like
Yeah.
a month before that meet in August. So like 6-7 months he's been doing it.
Yeah.
So
How was his head?
he was fine in the back. He's good. We had him. His dad was out there up front. It was just me and Tristan in the back. He was good.
Good.
He didn't worry about anything. He was level-headed. Mindset was good. And he did really good. Proud of him. Did really good.
That's
like I said,
awesome.
especially if he would have hit those last ones. But now he knows he can do it.
Yep.
Now he's on a 3-week block of just hell.
Which was really the point of going up there, was
Exactly.
get him into a big meet, let him see what that's like, get that confidence.
Yeah.
You knowing as a coach what holes he needs to work on,
Yeah.
and then him to realize it too. Like,
Oh yeah, that's the biggest thing with both of them, getting them, and then like, if you didn't hurt your wrist, but we're gonna hopefully get you to a big meet soon. They have to learn to compete on the big stage.
Yeah.
Because it's not the same as lifting on a platform here every day. We're lifting on our platform back
Yeah.
there. when we have a local meet.
Yeah.
I mean, when you have, and at the same time, they were like a Friday and a Thursday session, so it wasn't completely packed. It wasn't crazy, but at the same time, you had 5 other lifters lifting at the same time. Mm-hmm. Bars were slamming, computers were messing up. I mean, they have to be ready for that because that's a national meet, so they needed to feel that. Mm-hmm. So when they go to junior nationals, senior nationals, American Open, all that, they know what to expect. Yeah. It's not foreign to them.
So, I mean, having not been able to do it, probably the same difference of going from even doing, working out here every day to any local meet, there's that learning curve. And then, again, the learning curve from that from what we've been doing to something like, just another
So for
one.
you, the best way to put it for you would be like, because you worked all the CrossFit stuff, think of a regional competition, which is like cool and big and packed, but then the games, like in the stadium.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. The difference, like it doesn't matter if you're in the not the stadium or in the arena for the regionals, but then you go into the arena for the games. It's just different.
Yeah.
The vibe's different. The feeling's different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
and even like park ball to high school to then college.
Yeah, like so regionals would be like a local meet. Like not many people used to go watch. It was cool, but then you get in the arena at the games, it's packed and people are in there and multiple things are going on. You have to be on your A game,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it, man. I hate I couldn't go, but glad the wrist is finally back. Everything's feeling good again.
Oh, you're healthy now, which is all that matters.
Finally.
So hopefully we can.
Hopefully it'll stay that way.
Hopefully we can get your total to either where you can compete at nationals as just a senior, because they don't have the Masters Nationals is before that in like Salt Lake City or something. But for sure, American Open, they have the Masters class.
Yeah.
Get you there.
Yeah. Ready to get back. So what about Tristan? How did he do?
So Tristan did really good, too. They both PR'd their competition totals. Yep. Tristan PR'd a snatch with a 115 snatch, which was a 253 snatch.
Yeah.
Which he's never pulled over. I don't think we've ever tried 250 at the gym.
Okay.
I know he's done 240. I think we've tried 250 once or twice, but he's never hit it. So this is the first time he's for sure ever pulled 253, and he smoked it, right?
Yeah, it looked great. I remember watching it.
And he had, he had a lot of confidence going into it.
Yeah.
And then let's talk about. Well, let me finish this, and then we'll talk about training the different mentalities of both of them.
Yeah.
Coaching different athletes are different
because they're so different.
And then his clean and jerk. We've been working on his jerk. My old strength coach is his strength coach now at school, and he's helped with some overhead stability stuff for him, which really has opened his shoulder up. And damn if he didn't press out his opposite arm on his first clean and jerk, right?
Yeah. We were sitting there watching it, and I saw the lights, go red, and I'm like, what the heck? Like, that looked good. And so I had to text Victoria. I'm like, do you have any idea why that was a miss?
So he pressed out his freaking first clean and jerk with his left arm, which he never does, which I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, what are you doing? In my head, I'm like, fuck. But so he missed his first one, so I was like, no, we have to remake that. We have to get on the board. So then we redid it. He smoked it. It was super easy. But I told him, like, hey, dude, like, I don't care what happens on your second snatch or your second clean jerk. You make them, you miss them. Unless they have to be okay misses. Like, we're going big on both.
Yeah.
Both third attempts. Like, we're going to go for fucking PRs.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. Like, we're not here. Of course, we want to win the meet and win a medal. But, like, this isn't nationals. This isn't the American Open. This is to get you on a stage, get you to compete. And can you compete? Right?
Yeah, if you're gonna go.
Exactly. Because that's like he missed, matter of fact, he missed his second snatch, I believe. Or first snatch. He missed one of them behind. He overpulled it. It might have been
the first one. He overpulled it. Because I remember telling her, she was like, what happened? I'm like, it's a good miss. He just, he was hyped up and he just overpulled. He needs
the feeling of that, right?
Yeah.
So then we went 143, which is 314, 315.
Yeah.
If you round up with like the point, whatever kilos. But like Never's clean 315. Never's attempted it.
Yeah, because when he hit 300 right before, like a week or two before.
So about 2
and that was a PR at the time,
like
right?
2 or 3 weeks before he hit the 300, and then we kind of hit it every week. And then he hit a 308, and he missed the jerk. And he tried to pull 315, and he just clarked it, picked it up, and dropped it, right? So I was like, we're going for – I told his dad, I was like, we're doing 315. I don't give a fuck. Like, he's going to pull it.
Three wheels,
he's going to get it or what? Like, and, like, He smoked it. He got a little bit up on his toes when he tried to stand up with it, so he had to go back in the hole. And his legs are super strong, so he stood up with it. And then he barely missed the jerk.
Yeah.
Which is the most he's ever would have been jerked too. But if he would have done that, he would have won the comp. He would have been number one in the nation in his weight class, age group. He would have been had a higher total than the kid that's on Team USA for Pan Am's, right? So I think that lit a fire under his ass, right?
Which is good for him because he's so mild and mellow.
Yeah. Well, when he missed his jerk, I mean, you can't hear on thing. He said, "Fuck." Like as loud as he could. And, he doesn't ever do anything. And I think that's from wrestling this year really lit a fire under his ass.
It's good to see him. There's a difference in the training.
No, he's definitely a lot more intense. And plus, like his dad said, he wished we had. So with Tristan, he wrestled probably, I guess, from November or October.
Yeah, right after he left.
Through like 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. Like that went all the way up to then. So his dad was wishing that he had another full month of training, including the 3 weeks he had, because then he would have smoked that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, you saw when he was coming in training, like, he was busting his butt, but he was tired.
Yeah.
He would work out in school. Then he'd have wrestling practice. Then he'd come in here and work out, right?
Yeah, and by the time he was leaving, he was just dragging.
He was dead.
And you could tell it was legit tired because Lance wasn't giving him a hard time for being tired, where Tristan's dogging it, Lance is on him.
Yeah. So, but there's a lot of potential with him. But and I think another reason why he did good too is he was going against all grown-ass men. The youngest person in that class was like 1995 was their birthday.
Oh, wow.
I think he's born in 2005, 2006, something like that.
So he's not competing against juniors. He's in the open.
So So however when it comes to your classes, it's all of it doesn't matter. It's all about your total. So the goal for him next year, or by the goal for him for the American Open, is I want like a 280 plus total. And I want him competing in the, I doubt it'd be A session, but like B session.
Yeah.
Men's, 89 or 81, because he's has plenty of weight he can still lose.
So he'll compete in that session, but his scores will be in the
juniors.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. That makes sense.
So that's why when he was doing, he didn't go up against anybody because they went prior to him. But he did really good. But let's get back to talking about, and you can attest to this too, because when I'm in here coaching or training, you're coaching Ryan. You're not really coaching Tristan. You give him some pointers here, but he kind of knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's kind of he knows what he can self-regulate, and he knows when he has a shitty lift or not. But the two different, let's have you talk about it, and then I'll talk about what I think about it. With training, they're two totally different fucking people.
Oh my gosh.
Like coaching, talking to, programming's pretty much the same, but like coaching mentality, their attitudes in the gym.
Yeah.
Like you talk about it first, and then I'll talk about kind of the way I coach them at the meet and then how I coach them in here.
Yeah, well, first and foremost, the whole mindset thing. Like Tristan, a little bit older. His dad is definitely on him. Just like, Jamie's on Ryan too, but Tristan, we said it before, he's just so mild mannered. Like it. Up until recently, it was like it almost felt like he was forced to be in here, and now it's like he wants to be in here.
Yeah.
And it's good to see.
Yeah.
But very true. You could put his programming in the app, and he would just do it. And every once in a while, you'd have to jump on him, to move a little bit faster to get going.
Yeah.
Whereas Ryan, it's what the role I try to take on more, because he needs that constant coaching.
Yes.
The reassurance,
and don't be afraid to put it out there, like how we gotta get into his ass.
Yeah, well, it's you got to stay on him because he gets distracted very easily.
Yeah.
He wants to be on his phone. He acts like a 13-year-old, right? He can be very mature at times, but then that 13-year-old comes out in him. So there's a lot of you got to jump on him. And I've even said it to him before, like, do you like being yelled at? Because it kind of feels like, you just want either Jake but I think some of it's the attention that he wants, and that, look at, we know you're doing well, but you've got to keep going.
Yeah.
And if he's having a bad day, it gets in his head. So that's when I try to step in and just be like, look, dude, everybody has bad days.
Yeah.
Get out of your head. Like, there's no point, because all you're doing is making it worse. And so so I try to give him more like,
You're more
mental pointers.
Out of anybody in here besides Victoria, you're the most positive one.
Yeah, I mean
You're the good cop out of everybody.
Well, between you and Jamie, like you guys can handle the bad cop in pretty well. And then if Cody's here, Cody's gonna jump on him. So I mean, and I'll get on to him too. Like when because he'll push your buttons and try and get away with what he can get away with. And I mean, I've had moments where I'm like, Ryan, come on, dude, let's go.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like when he's getting it from both sides, and I can just see I'm like, dude, just
chill out,
walk off for a second, catch your breath, clear your head, let's go. You know how to do this. It's not like you're screwing up because you're hurt. Like you're focusing on other things.
Yeah, for sure.
And I know from experience, I've got to be clear-headed to get it. If I'm trying to cue too many things, it's just gonna fall apart.
Yeah.
I can focus on one cue at a time. Every once in a while I can get two, but it's really one. Knees out, shoulders back, chest up.
Yeah.
One or the other. And then training-wise, you really got to stay on Ryan because he wants to talk. I mean, how many times have we told him you're not allowed to talk to anybody?
Every day.
Yeah.
Well, it's like that's why now he's with Q because he just needs someone. Because we can't always stay on him because if you're training, you want to train. You don't want to coach 24/7. If I'm in here, I'm usually have classes and people
especially
are coming
right
in.
now.
People are coming in, signing people up, doing all that good stuff. So it's like now we have Q, one of my interns, who's just on him from when he walks in the gym.
Yep.
He is on him like white on rice, telling him what to do. Hey, you're talking too much. Hey, dude, it's been 30 minutes. You're still on the first 2 blocks. Like we have got to get rolling. This should take only an hour. Yeah. So I think that's going to give him a better idea of how training should be. Because he does work really hard. He just likes to bullshit and talk. Mm-hmm. But he does work really hard.
He likes feeling like he's one of the guys, not a kid.
Yeah, he needs to realize he's still a 13.
Yeah, he
needs to know his role.
Yeah, you are still a kid. But
then you got Tristan, who's been coming since he was Ryan's age, 12, 13.
Is that how long he's been here? 4 or 5 years now?
Yeah, and he's been doing the weightlifting probably since he was for sure since he was 13. But
Are you good?
Oh,
I'm just moving my leg.
I gotcha. But with him, he did one meet when he was 13. But he didn't really compete anymore because he always did football and baseball and stuff. Yeah. So then, since he quit football, now it's like he's full into fucking weightlifting and wrestling. And you can see the difference in his lifts in here and his attitude in here. Like, I think football he hated it. He didn't like going to practice. Mm-hmm. He didn't like doing the bullshit they had to do. And, he brought that in here, which sucked. You could see him wearing it on his shoulders.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the truth, The more negativity you focus on, it seeps into every part of your life. Yeah. Where if you can let it go and you find something to focus on that makes you happy, then all of a sudden everything else gets better.
No, but he's doing really good. But with him, you don't have to tell him anything. Some days you have to get into his ass. Dude, stop being a puss. Come on. Lift the bar up. Come on. You have to give effort. I don't care that's heavy. Yesterday. So Monday Tristan started his own little plan, and I think you're doing 80. You're trying your best to stay on that plan too.
Yeah, it's 2 days.
It's just hard for you because you're not a kid. You don't have multiple all day to work out.
Yeah. But I wish I did.
But Monday, he had 2 days. He smoked it, but he definitely felt it yesterday, right? It was dude, come on, it should not take you 1 minute to do a 5-rep max. Come on, we still have to get onto him, but once you get into him, he's pretty good about it, and he wants to get better. They both want to get better. Yeah. But coaching them, my looking from a 28,000 foot window is at the meet there it was different too. Ryan and Ryan, we got to get into him, and he likes to be. I think he likes to be yelled at. He likes.
It helps fire him up.
He likes confrontation, right?
Yeah.
But in the back, he was calm. But I knew what to say, how to say it, when to say it to get his blood boiling, right? With Tristan, it's a lot more calm. How are you feeling? You moving good? Blah blah blah. Especially on the snatch. In clean and jerk, you can be a little more aggressive with any athlete because it's
not so technical.
It's not as technical. So it's hey, dude, let's do this. Let's go beat all these grown ass men, dude. Fuck them. You're here to win, right?
And then that's gotta help. That's gotta help a 16-year-old feel good. I'm outlifting men.
Yeah, for sure.
It's got to.
So, so coaching them just as a coach, you guys need to realize there's you can't coach everybody the same. Like Ryan, you have to stay on him, and it kills me because like I hate doing that. I hate yelling. I hate staying on somebody's ass because it stresses me out. All these gray hairs are probably from Ryan. To be honest with you,
They probably are.
but like he needs that to succeed. Like that's the coach's out. He needs someone in his ass 24/7 to succeed. Where Tristan, hey dude, shot your butt up. Hey dude, you're on your tippy toes, and he'll fix it.
Yep.
And then every once in a while, like dude, what are you doing? And I
Yeah.
look like shit. Come on, wake the fuck up.
Yeah.
But that's like once a week, once a month with him.
Yeah.
So.
Or the like earlier today, those aren't muscle cleans.
Oh yeah, like I don't know what the hell he was doing, and then he ended up fixing it right. But,
Yeah.
So that was how they competed.
But overall, good experience.
Yeah, good experience for both of them. Like I said, and Tristan, I think we already said he got
ended up third,
he
right?
ended up getting third overall, second in the snatch, third in the clean and jerk. He really tied for first, but the way weightlifting works, whoever takes the attempt first
Wins
wins it.
Yep.
Um,
Which, I mean, it makes sense because some of the
Yeah,
that's
'cause
what I was
the
trying to
way-
explain to Haley is like, here's where the chest part starts.
how because where it used to be body weight. So with him, if it was body weight, he would have won because he was like 84 kilo, like he was super light. So he would have won it from the body weight.
Yeah.
But now it's like the first person to attempt the weight claims the weight or whatever. But what also sucked too is like you had the online meet going on like a week or two before, which I don't really care what those kids hit, but they never posted it to know how to work off. Like a meet, like you're seeing the numbers as they go, so you can know how to play and you know what to. They didn't post those numbers until Sunday night. So it's like, so at the time we were like, well, did the kids in Tristan's class, they go up to 96, drop down to 81? Because he had like two kids that are pretty good, who could total more than him or total just as much as him, but they didn't go in there until Sunday. So we're like, well, maybe they just bumped up to 96, but we couldn't find them.
Yeah, I could understand not letting it out the 2 weeks before, but like
they should
day
have-
of,
the
you should
day
know.
of, it should.
Because you're going to know everybody else's day of.
Yeah, so. But, like I said, if he would have hit his numbers, he would have won.
Yeah.
Number one in the country.
But, man, I think it's a good thing for him.
Yeah, he needs it.
Keep that fire going.
He needs the fire.
Yeah.
Because the goal going in the Nationals for him is to, if we can't open, his second attempts to be 260 plus total. Like, they leave no doubt. You know what I mean? Like, hey, dude, like, we're going to open at 250 snatch. Like, we're going to get you to a 265, 270 snatch by Nationals. And clean and jerk, like, you're going to be working with 300 pounds, 290 from now on every day.
Nice.
Like, 330 is what we need.
Yeah.
Like, without a doubt. Like, that needs to be your second attempt. First attempt needs to be 315. Like, you need to smoke it, go to 330, smoke it, and then go big.
Yep.
But, I mean, he has the time, and like I said, he's not wrestling, so he can actually recover, train, eat, and focus on weightlifting.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You got any other questions about the meet or anything, or?
Not on that. So what's next? I know we've got the one here, May 28th.
Yeah, so we have our meet here end of May. So if you want to do a weightlifting meet in Alabama, because there's not many in Alabama or around Florida or Mississippi, May 28th here. Sign up now before April 14th or something, before the price goes up. But it'll be a good event. Last time we had over 50. I think we had over 50 athletes. Be a good prep too for especially people who are going to nationals or who are going to go to senior masters nationals. I think is the following month as well in Salt Lake City. Or if you're just prepping for the next American Open series, which is in Canada,
Yeah.
get your total up, or just get a total for the American Open, which is a little lighter than nationals.
The American Open Series is in Canada?
Well, it's the North American,
North American Open, okay.
so that's how it is now. Yeah.
Got it.
But
that
but if
doesn't
you,
exactly
if you need
make
to get a
sense.
total up, come to the meet.
Yeah.
We're using all the equipment that's at a national meet. So if you want to get used to it, like we use Pyrrhus bars, we use the row comp plates, collars. I mean, you can be on a 14 by 14 wooden platform, so it's going to feel like you can have all the tools like a national meet. So if you qualify, you can go to one.
Absolutely.
That's what we have next. And then now it's just training the two for nationals. Me, hopefully, compete. Maybe compete. If there's not a meet around, I'll have to compete at it so I can qualify for nationals.
You're looking to compete on the 28th here too?
So there was supposed to be a meet in Pensacola, but I can't find it. It's not up anymore.
Yeah, we had talked about that one in April, right?
Yeah, but I didn't see it on the site. So that's why I put it a month after, because
Yeah.
if people want to compete, do both. It's actually a month and a half after, but I was going to do that, but I didn't see it on there, so I might have to compete at all just to get a total. Like, probably just power everything.
How's your shoulder feeling?
Yesterday I did muscle snatches, so this is the first week that I put a bar on my back since. I did it once before surgery, but really since like October. I put safety bars, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
So I squatted on Monday, did 515 for some singles. Yesterday I did 500 for some pause singles. Did some hex bar deadlifts. And then in my second session yesterday I did some contact muscle snatches just with 90 on the bar. 90 pounds on the bar, and then no contact muscle snatches just because it was freaking smoking my hip from not snatching since September.
Yeah.
Since I got the MRI. So I did 3x5 on both of those, did some overhead squats. The overhead squat's not quite there yet. Hips or ankles and even shoulder, like I had to grab the outside of the collar.
Oh, wow.
The kind of over. Now, snatching was fine. Like,
yeah.
I could muscle snatch fine. But to get, I had to still externally rotate a little bit more to get in a better position. But it felt good, and I'm hoping by the end of this month I can start snatching, even if it's only just with blues or reds on, like full snatching.
Yeah.
I tried to power with the vibration. It was still a little too much jarring on my shoulder. But I'll be good by the end of the month.
Good.
And then I should compete. And hopefully I'll try to start. I may do some cleans today, see how it feels.
Yeah.
Who knows? See how the front rack feels.
Yeah.
Gotta push it.
Yep. Man, that's awesome, dude.
But, all right. Well, like, share, subscribe. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, Savage Not Average YouTube channel. Please share everything that we do. If you would like any programming or anything like that, just contact us. Down below is the email address, Instagram, Facebook, all that good shit. But just like, share, subscribe, and please push it so we can keep blowing up the podcast, blowing up the YouTube channel, blowing up everything we're trying to do. So, talk to you guys next time.
Love y'all.
And your sister and your job and your broke ass car and the shit you call